So essentially what happened is Daigo knew that the Omi, so Daigo is the Tojo Alliance, right? Tojo is where Kiryu is from, Majima is from. They're the main Yakuza, right? Hey, Iron Chef. So Tojo Clan knows that Omi Alliance is bubbling. They really want to take over the Tojo Clan, and they want to take over all of the Tojo Clan territories, but they want to do it in such a way that it is a smooth operation and transfer straight to the Omi Alliance with no deaths. Because what they're gonna do is they're trying to cut off the heads of the Hydra, right? They're trying to cut off the heads of the clan so that they can just move in, show that they're powerful, and get the loyalty of all the Tojo men without having to have a bunch of deaths, because they want these people for their power, right? The Omi Alliance has always been trying to do this. The Tojo Clan and the Omi Alliance have always been clashing head to head. They have like a very tenuous neutrality with one another, but of course, over time, they'll start to try to overpower each other. Turns out Omi Alliance's head, Daigo tries to strike a deal with some of the Omi Alliance in Fukuoka, and that's Madarame, the old man at the beginning of the show, or the of the game, and he agrees. He likes Daigo, and he wants to make an alliance, and he wants it to be good between them. And so they try to make an alliance. But if Madarame dies, that means the alliance is off the table, because Daigo only made the deal with Madarame. Madarame gets attacked by somebody. We don't know who. It turns out it's actually Morinaga, who's working with the Omi Alliance, who wants to throw Madarame so that they can take over the Omi Alliance properly and then take over the Tojo Clan. Because Madarame wants them to be neutral. He doesn't want to take over the Tojo Clan. He wants to be equals. He doesn't want to be like fighting constantly, and he doesn't want to take over the Tojo Clan in that way. Madarame wants to be like legit and like a legit guy. He's a stand-up guy for a Yakuza gangster man, right? But everybody else just is hungry and greedy for more. And so it turns out there's been plans from the Omi Alliance this whole time in the Tojo Clan. Morinaga is actually working for the Omi Alliance, and he's been the bodyguard for Daigo this whole time. That's what we discover in the first part of the storyline. We then move to Saijima. Saijima's in prison. He's the guy with no hair and the like green jacket, right? Saijima's in prison, and somebody there befriends him. Somebody in prison, Baba. Baba is also a plant with the Omi Alliance because they know that if they take down Kiryu and they take down Saijima, all the scariest men of the Tojo Clan, the Tojo Clan people that can just go and kill everybody in the Omi Alliance with no problem at all, are dead. And so they're trying to lure Kiryu by luring him with like Daigo being missing and Majima being dead. They're trying to get Kiryu to Tokyo. With that, then they have Saijima in prison. They convince Saijima and come to Tokyo as well to investigate things. Now that they have both those guys in Tokyo, they want to kill them. They're enemy number one, because if they can kill them, they can show that they're so powerful and so able to dominate that the people of the Tojo will theoretically like fall into line behind them, right? So that's the plan right now. Turns out the Omi Alliance had a bunch of plants in Tojo and in jail. Baba is actually also part of the Omi Alliance and was supposed to be the one that convinces Saijima to come to Tokyo. But obviously, Baba falls for Saijima's big dick and ends up deciding that he's going to spill all the beans and all the plans that he knows to Saijima and Kiryu so that they can have an advantage and make sure that the Omi Alliance don't take them over. That's what's happening so far. We're trying to figure out who the actual head of this Omi Alliance coup is. And for the longest time, there were 3 dudes that it could have been. However, 2 of those dudes have been killed, right? They are dead as hell, except this guy who kept saying, oh, I'm not super interested in any of the crime because I run this entertainment company. He's actually a big entertainment company head for Osaka Entertainment, who deals with a lot of the idols. That's where Haruka being an idol comes in, because he even tries to get her to be in his company. And that's where Haruka being an idol comes into play, because that's where that story intertwines, because he's the head of a huge entertainment company. Pretty much Kira, Saijima, and Shinada story shed light on each of the Tojo, sending representatives to ask for support. Meanwhile, Haruka and Akiyama's hearts go over how everything with the Omi's backyard. Okay, someone's trying to lead them to it. Exactly. And so this guy ends up being the only one left over that could be the head of the head of the coup that's happening within the Omi Alliance. So this is the only guy left that stands to win everything if he gets his way. And so it feels like he's the one that is behind all of this shenanigans, right? The plants in the tojo, the plants in the prison, all of the things happening. And they just discovered that the guy who killed the manager for the baseball company, the manager for the baseball team that Shinada was on, the last baseball quest line we did last week, is actually him. They found his prints on the gun of the man, and even though they made it look like he had committed, seppuku on himself, it turns out that his prints were on that. So it feels like they are setting this guy up for the fall. So I don't think it's this guy. I think it's somebody else entirely, because there's no way it could be that simple. And there's no way this man, who has been so fastidious in all of his dealings with the entertainment industry, is so sloppy as to leave prints on the gun that killed Morinaga and the gun that killed what's his name? Coach I don't know, Coach Baseball Man. I forgot his name. Lore Master Amy. Weirdly, Pete, like, I have a hard time following some storylines sometimes if they get super convoluted. Like, Final Fantasy 14 can be a lot sometimes for me, but for some reason this storyline has me riveted.